if I can do something where I can have P6 in view and everything. Alright, give me 1 second. Hopefully this is not. Let me get it live, see what it looks like now. It does look like that. Bear with me as I figure this out. Trying to get a test to see if I can get this. It looks different on my camera than what I see here, but let's see. It should be. Maybe I can pull it this way a little more. Hey, what's up, Crazy Wabbit? Yeah. What's up, Ali Star? All right, so what I was doing here, I was sampling some drums. I might put the bass on this last one, but anyway, trying to figure out my method to this madness. I think the drums sound a little bit better though when they're sampled in at the 44.1, because I did my original drums. They were good, but I don't know, for some reason, these are different drums, of course, but sample them at the 44.1, I think they sound a little bit better. I mean, it's cool to do the sample rate on the sample lower, but when I do the drums, I think I might do them around 44. Mouse is living on the edge. Yes, it is. I was trying to get the table right. I'm trying to figure out a way to get the view where you can see everything. So I had to zoom out a little bit just to be safe, to make it work. Yeah. So let me see. I was debating whether I wanted to do this little electric guitar or if I want to use something else to go across this track. So what I did was I played some chords in for, so here's the chords, I'll show you. And that says, feel your pain, Ali, when you say you don't like the fact you can't play your guitar in, because that would be the best. The ultimate would be they let you just play straight in. I mean, you can play, obviously. I'm playing, all this is coming, all this sound is coming through the P6 and back out here. I'm using the computer just as the sound module to send the sound out, but the sound is coming to this little bitty speaker that you can't see sitting right over here. This little anchor sound, core sound speaker, whatever. And then, which this speaker kind of like reminds me of just having like the MPC speaker. It's like your MPC Live 2 speaker, right? You just listening through. So that's what I'm doing. And then I did the drums on here. Like I said, I recorded them in at 44.1. The sample for the pianos, though, I did them at 14.7. So they would have that dusty sound. I guess I need to put the lo-fi on them. Oh, I forgot about that. Oops. All right, let's change that lo-fi alias thing. Shift, enter. Every time I do it, I have to change it a little bit because each sample sounds a little bit different in my head, or at least to me. So I changed the alias thing down to like 58. Nice. And I don't know, maybe I do the drums again or put the drums, some effect over the drums. Of course, you can always compress everything and make it louder. I'm a bit tilted to the right. Are you sure? Wait, are you sure I'm tilted to the right, or am I standing? My arm is to the right. If I reach in and extend my arm, or are you talking about just because you can see the table or the floor a little bit? Or are you talking about the cameras to the right? Is that it? Still see what we got to see. Oh. Yeah, I in order to get to be able to see everything, I could zoom in a little bit, I guess. Then you probably wouldn't see. There you go. You can still see as long as you can see the P6 and the keyboard, I guess. That's all that matters. I see what you're saying. So it looks like it's a little tilted. It might be a little tilted, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe move it that way. Or does that make it worse? I think that makes it worse. Maybe that way. Nope. Makes it worse. Yeah, there. That should be. I'm waiting on it to catch up because the footage is all. It looks like it's tilted. Maybe it looks like that because, well, there's little fans over here. But the keyboard is not center in the frame. So I know, like, if I move that over and put it in the frame where it's more center, it might look a little bit better. Could be, yeah. There's so many things to get. Yeah, I could put it a little more in the frame and center it. There you go. It's a little more center. You can see my little switch right here, though, to cut the keyboard on and off. Thanks to Crazy Wabbit, who mentioned it, I believe, in a video or live or something about that. Yeah. Yeah, I have to put mine through the MPC to get then put it in the P6, which is just stupid, pointless for live. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the sad part of the P6 is amazing with the sound. The sequencer is not so bad, but yeah, there's a few quirks that you just got to deal with until either they fix it or they may not fix it. I mean, if they ever put, honestly, if they put the lo-fi alias looking thing, alias looking, alias sounding effect into, and the micro timing and the sample rate change into the SP404, I probably would just get an SP404 and skip this. But the only other benefit outside of that is the battery, right? The sequencer is cool across the bottom. It does make it easier to do your steps because you don't have to scroll through pages of stuff. But because you only have 4 bars, you're kind of limited in it anyway. You can only do so much. Like when I get to thinking about 8 bars of chords or 8 different chords I might use, I start thinking, well, how in the world am I gonna do it if I only got 6 pads? I don't have enough pads to play the different chords on. I'd have to play parts of it in the one pad and then chop it or something. It seems like it would be a crazy amount of work. The battery is anemic. Yeah, it's needs a burger. Yeah, it needs but I think it was near Tao or whatever, or Tayo, near Tayo, I think is how he says his name, who said that you can open the back up with the screws and replace a battery with it. It's a plug and play, supposedly, thing where you can buy a bigger battery. So if you want a larger battery, you can enhance it with a bigger battery. I'm not using it for more than 2 hours, 3 hours at the mat. And that's usually the life of it. I think it's like 3 hours before you need to recharge it. They said 4 hours, but I think it's like more like 3. All you need is a second sample for the second 4 bars and set the probability. Yeah, but oops, hold on. That's getting louder and louder, I feel like. Oh, because the compression's on. That's the other thing is when you run the effects, it's literally running the effect through that. So I can't, it's changing all my certain sounds I don't want to have that on. At least these effects do. This stuff here doesn't really affect it but at all. You're right, but the problem is I'd have to decide, okay, am I gonna do 4 bars, like play in maybe a sample for 4 bars or play a part for 4 bars and then maybe play another part, because these are just single chords, sustained, right, held out, which allows me to, I can create an intro with that, or I can, whereas when you're just using a sample, you're going to have to record. I mean, I guess you could record your part of your sample again and then resample that. After a while, it's like, man, it's a bit much. I'd rather just jump in the DAW and just lay these parts out, right, and be done with it. All you need is a second sample. Yeah, I read that one. Near Tile, yep, but that's a pay grade level above me. Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you on that. I mean, honestly, is it really like you're gonna be using this thing more than 3 hours? If you are, then maybe it's not the thing for you, right? You might as well go get something that's gonna hold you for that long. But I don't even know if I can use the SP404 with batteries in it for more than 4 hours straight, and it might die too. I can't remember what the life of it was. I don't have one anymore, unfortunately. Maybe I will get one at some point if they add a couple features that I really want. I'd set a bank with all the parts for the second set of 4 bars. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you would just have to put it. I mean, you got 8 banks, 6 pads per bank. So yeah, you could just do a bank with whatever 4 you're gonna use there, or 5 or 6, and then make another bank with the verse part, and then make another bank with, yeah. If you're gonna try to do the whole thing in there, for me, it's just honestly, the P6 is more about the sound than it is the actual workflow. I'm not so. I don't think I'm geeked on the workflow as much as I am the sound. So I will probably use it to record in my just so I can get that sound that it gives. I don't know if anybody puts lo-fi on drums, huh? Maybe. Not bad. Okay. But yeah, I would just record the sounds in and then just do it all in Koala, or you could do it if you're on the go, you do it in Koala. If you have your computer with you, then you just do it on the computer in Ableton and be done with it. Or if you got the MPC somewhere, I guess, which you could just record it into the MPC. I've been watching 404 videos today. Quite like that DJ mode. Oh, okay, yeah, but you have a 404 alley, right? Yeah, I know you have a 404, so chop and hop, not making Beethoven Fifth Symphony. I'm guessing you're saying that you're not, because you're not making a Beethoven Fifth Symphony, you're not constructing a orchestral piece or whatever. You're like, just chop it and hop to something else to finish it. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, you want to do as much as you can though in one device, because then it eliminates you doing all that hopping around. But if that's your thing, if you like the module workflow, by all means. Skip back on the 404 is nice. I like the looper on it too. I think the looper is nice. It almost kind of, the looper's cool, especially if you like to drop a sample in it and then slow that thing down, like pitch it like halfway down and then resample, and then it'll sample that for you. You can send it to a pad. That's fun. I mean, if you like stretching samples, that was one of my favorite things. I probably missed on it the most, was that little feature. Grew up in the 70s. We used to we used a few tools in the kitchen. Yeah, yeah, I know. Like, I think. Wait, what did you say, Ali? I think the instrumental tracks really needs 8 bars. Yeah, yeah. I think if you're referring to yeah, you're saying if it's like if you're just playing an instrumental and it's just a repetitive thing without somebody like rapping or singing over it. Yeah, then it would. I get you. Yeah, you need if you don't have vocals over it, was what you're saying. I'm guessing what you're saying. Then you need more than 8 bars. But honestly, I don't. It's not just having 8 bars. Like I might use a verse. Like this could be a verse and a hook, right? If you wanted it to be. But then I might want my bridge in the song to have different structure or be something completely different. It could be the same chords, but maybe I play it a little different. That could be an intro. So I might want different chords for the intro. Sometimes I'll do different ones for the intro, maybe different for the outro, and then I might have the rest of it'll be this, right? Or then it just depends on the song. But I'm not always using chords either. Sometimes I like to use just ambient sounds and textural sounds too. So it just depends on the song and what I'm trying to do. Um I rarely been doing that verse chorus stuff lately, even though I play. I much prefer breakdowns in various ways. Oh, okay. I do that too, though. I mean, it just depends. Like, if I'm not writing, if I'm doing like a cinematic piece for sure, I want variation throughout. So I'll have like moments of where it'll ride for like, it might be 8 to 12 bars or whatever, or not even that much. It might be like some weird, awkward number, like 7 bars. And then it'll switch somewhere there and start going. It has no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just something to give the ear something different to listen to and not tire it out. Because you can tire your ear out listening to the same thing over and over and over. Like applying DJ concept more than instrumentalist. What do you mean DJ concept? You mean like scratching on a DJ, like a turntable scratching? Or are you talking about just taking people's clips of people's audio and just using it over your instrumental? I know I did it for a few years. So I understand what DJ stuff is, But when you say DJ concept, are you speaking of just like mix scratching or using like vocal samples over something? Yeah, I get it. Like the whole instrumental thing is like after you, like I play guitar too, so I get it. Like creating change like a DJ would. Oh, okay. So just like ship like transitioning from different parts to different parts to give you some variation in the song. Not invoking a middle eight or a chorus. Okay. So you don't. So you just. I'll have to see you do it on camera what you're talking about. But I think I got an idea that you're just basically saying I'm not worried about putting together a chorus. I'm just putting together variations of different beats. And like if I don't have multiple beats here, I only got this one. But if I wasn't playing that, maybe your next beat would be something totally different. You just going into that, DJing into that, just making it transition into it. Not making songs. Yeah, I get it. Not making songs. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I'm doing that here, but I'm not really. I'm just doing that to test the sounds out. But honestly, I'm probably gonna use this thing more just to sample some stuff with that nice lo-fi sound, send it right back into Ableton and finish the tracks in Ableton. It'll just be something I use to get the sound from. I would not, and I'm gonna use the effects a little bit, but not. I don't want to DJ be, hitting stuff like. Let's see. Let me throw the filter on. Doing this. I can't see myself doing that. I'll be honest. I'm not. I enjoy like. I mean, I did that in Koala, all that kind of stuff when it first came out. It was cool, but it gets old to me to listen to somebody go doing that. All it's like okay. There's nothing wrong. It's just not. I wouldn't sit and listen to that all day. I would get annoyed by it. Now I will listen to ambient music that slowly changes into stuff, but I'm listening to it for relaxation. I listen to jazz for relaxation. I listen to those type of things. But like just listening to somebody tweak a knob all day, it would drive me crazy. I forget there's even a looper here. Cause I'm like, wait, why is there a looper here? It throws me off. It'd be cool if we could change these too, because some of these I would never use, but like doing this all day would just after a while I don't even know if it sounds rhythmic anymore. It sounds like I think that's a cassette. That's the cassette. I don't know. It's an effects box is how I see it. And it's cool because it has other stuff like a little granular. It has a little, you know. But I'm again, I'm not performing music for anybody. I'm more or less writing songs, even if the songs are. Oh, you like that, Crazy Web? You like that kind of stuff, like just twisting the knobs and coming up with unique. I mean, it's cool. I'm not. I know a lot of people like that stuff. I just get bored with it too fast. I get bored easy. That's probably why I don't keep a lot of gear because I get bored so easy. I'd be like, "What am I? Why did I buy this?" Right? Instant boredom. Yes, it is good for the. You're right. It's good for the lo-fi, um, which I mean I don't do it all the time, but yeah, it is good for that. Or if you just want some crazy sample thing, is fun. But see, I like doing stuff like. Hold on, let me show you. I like grabbing. Let me find my um, this. So this is a guy. He makes patches for different companies, but Arturia is one of them. And he made this cool. So he made an ambient machine. I just shut it down. Ambient synth that you can hit random in Ableton and just play. Every time you hit random, you got a new synth. Then you can save a preset if you like it. I'm gonna kill that volume because it's killing probably your ears and mine too. But anyway, soundscapes. I like soundscapes. That's probably the best way to determine it. Let's read some more. Let's see. More rhythmic than words, humans are singing around. Slinging around? It's good for lo-fi things. Zounds entered the chat. Yeah, Zounds entered the chat. As soon as I said, oh, but I didn't buy from Zounds anyway, so I ain't worried about them. And I'm not getting rid of it because I like lo-fi music and I like using it when I'm not wanting to sit in front of the computer. So it's kind of fun. Especially it's fun with like Koala because it's easy to sit there and just take some sounds and throw it in and then keep it pushing. All right. It's taking the mobile music thing to the next sonic level, really. Yeah. Oh, you talking about the P6 taking it to the next level? I think so. I think it's I keep forgetting to turn these exit out of here. I mean, it's fun though. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get something else. I love stuff like Novum. You guys know about, I did some videos on that, but like I can take anything, any sound, throw it in there and granularize this thing like crazy. And it's constant. If you like that kind of vibe, right, where you take something, so record something in. I'm gonna see if I can record this chord in and we'll granularize just the chord. See if this works. I gotta set the P6 is the output. Okay, so let me sample this chord and then I'll show you. I had to switch the output, otherwise it'll bleed. Your eardrums will be bleeding right now. It'll get too loud. So let's see. P6 is the input. All right, here we go. We're just gonna record this chord. All right, cool. So then I could take like that chord and throw it into here. And now I have a new instrument. So I'm gonna get rid of this. All right, let's go back. I gotta switch it back now. Switch the output. All right, check this out. So that chord now is this. And I can do some crazy stuff to twist it up. Change the amount of grains. this track. It splits the sound into 6 layers. And then you can synthesize it. Anyway, fun stuff. This is why I love the computer so much, because I can get more. I can explore a little bit more than with gear. Sometimes gear has limitations, and it really limits you. Hopefully we are live still. Yeah, sounds in the chat. It's taking on moving music. What are you currently using for an interface when you mess with the iPad or done with it? Okay, so when I use the iPad, I can use the P6 as an interface. So, because it's at 44.1. So you got P6. I don't use an interface much at all anymore because I have really no need for it. But if I ever just need one, this little guy right here is it's a mixer, but it's also like one of those things that you could, like a what do they call it? Sound field recorder / mixer interface. So it has all the stuff I need on it, and it's super portable. In fact, if you see it right next to here, see how small it is? So that's the mixer interface. And it's a analog interface too. So you don't have to worry. It's not like, I mean, it does have digital, obviously, but everything inside of it's analog. It's pretty cool. Cool little. I've used it in videos in the past when I had other instrument things I was running through. I would record my mics through it because it's got combo jacks, so you can just record that way. But I don't really have a need for an audio interface at all. I think for me it'd be a waste of money to buy one, because most of the time I'm in headphones, and if I'm not in headphones, like when I'm doing this video, I just plug a speaker right into the MacBook, and the M1 MacBooks have a pretty good sound. They sound pretty good through the headphone jack. So I use that, and then what else do I use? That's it. And so the P6 now is another option. When I had the SP404, I used that as the interface. And now you can use this as the interface, which is what I'm doing right now. Everything you hear is coming out of here. Straight into that speaker. And of course, when you put headphones on, you get the clarity of everything a little bit more. You can hear it less noise pollution in the back. Particle motions. Some interesting sound, the way they can move sound through Granular. But yeah, that's what I'm currently using. I don't use the iPad that much. Most of the time when I use the iPad, it's like Koala, maybe AUM, and then the P6 can work with that, so I use that, and that's it. I have a ton of apps. I just have zero interest in using them, because honestly, what happened? Okay, so here's my story. If you want to know about the iPad, I was all iPad before I even got the MacBook. So Ableton for effects. So Ableton for everything. I do everything in Ableton. And I don't do live mixing, so I don't really need Ableton for that. I just use the arrangement view. I'm not really into the clip view or session view, as they call it in Ableton. I just use the linear view, and I just work I just record straight to it. I'll set myself like 32 bars, and then I just record as much as I want. And I don't care if I record and mess up, because the MIDI capture, anything I play, just hit MIDI capture and it throws it in the Ableton and you got it. So I don't miss. It's just like having on the SP404, having the little audio capture thing, the skip back or whatever. You got everything in capture MIDI. You know, if I need bass, I got Trillion for bass. I mean, keys, I got Keyscape, I got Omnisphere. I just have enough plugins to where all the rest of this stuff, if I need guitar, I don't even have my guitars anymore. I just ample sound guitar. Their guitars sound real enough to me to do like a lead with them. And I could do some, you know. It's a little loud right now. Let me turn it down a little bit. And then I can put like a guitar, a bass. I mean, not a bass. What am I trying to say? I could put a what is the thing? An amp. I got amps, like Fender amps. Right? Capture MIDI is nice, yeah. I'll have to see if an iOS app has that. I doubt it. There is one that was coming out, but the developer got a job, a real job, and he kind of put it on the back burner. But he did make one. He was the developer that made Tonality. He made one that kind of does exactly that. And so once he got a real job, he kind of stopped doing stuff with Tonality and with the other app he was making. So maybe one day he'll get back into it and do it. But that's iOS for you. I mean, when the developer is one person doing all the work and they leave, and they leave you wherever that app is at. That's where that app is at. So you I still use Tonality, and if I reach out to him, he'll still talk to me. But it's like there's nothing else. He's not doing anything with that. He has zero interest in worrying about that right now. What moved me back to desktop was this sound that you hear right now from the ample sound guitar and the bass guitar from Trillion moved me back to desktop, because I started finding that I hated that about iOS. There was nothing that sounded like real guitar that I could use. I would have to pull out a guitar and record, which I did for a while. I'd pull out the guitar, record, but I got tired of that. And so I just was like, I'm just going to go ahead and go to desktop. I'll have everything I need in the computer. I'll get a controller and I'm done. That was what moved me away. And it's unfortunate because I love iOS, but it's so many, it's so much problems with iOS that because it's not just the developer, but Apple changes stuff so much on those computers and it's so much more work to get those apps done that developers usually don't survive it. Unless they just really love it themselves, they usually don't survive that world, because you got to do so much changing to apps to make it work. So. I'm getting tired of people jumping on every new app. Yeah, I did it for a minute, but it was because I wanted to try them. I bought like every app for a while, and then I got to a point where I was like, why am I spending all this and I'm not even using it? I don't even use half these apps. I got apps, so many apps. I was like, if I returned them, I mean, not returned them, but that's what it sounds like. If I could sell them, I'd actually have enough money to buy me a computer. I had so many apps. And then they're pointless because the dev leaves. I bought one app. I'll never forget. I bought an app, and literally a month later, the developer just quit and said, I'm building a new one. And I was like, what? I just bought it. Refund me the money then. or something. But yeah, that's how it worked. He did refund me the money too. But I'm just saying that's, yeah, you can't sell apps. That's right. But you can sell software now. They got licenses with these software, so you can sell someone your license. Like if you want to sell them Ableton or you want to sell them your version of whatever you have, you can do that. But see, iOS doesn't have that. So you're just forking out money and not getting nothing. If you don't enjoy the app, you're just stuck with an app you don't enjoy. It's just money going down the drain. I'd rather just, and I have bought actually less stuff since I've been on desktop than I have when I was on iOS. I was buying all the time. And then I got to the point where it was like, okay, this is a waste. On desktop, I'm using the same software just over and over and over, and it doesn't matter because it sounds different every time I use it. And iOS stuff just got too repetitive for me. It was the same stuff. So that's why I don't use it much. But the P6 is a great little device. Again, it's a lo-fi device. Don't buy it if you're trying to get something crystal clean. It's not meant for that. It is lo-fi. It is meant for sampling. It is meant for resample. At least it has resample. That was one of the disappointing things with the EP 133. How do you make a sampler that don't resample? That's just weird. So it was kind of like, well, I might as well just use Koala then, because Koala's quicker and does it all. So anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, it sucks you can't sell apps. So teenagers, yeah. Something cool with this device that I don't talk about a lot, I'm in user chord mode. Watch this. So if I hold this down and I can transpose it. Let's make another one. So I can build chords right on here. I can have up to 16, right? I mean, I'm not going to use 16. And now if you want to send it into your, I'm not going to send this in there. I'm just letting you know. Hit function, delete them. Start over, find the chord you like. So you don't have to hold them all down either. You just press the pad and press. Done. Now the only thing you don't get using that is the velocity changes. That would be cool, and I don't know if they're going to add that ever, but and then you can resample. You can resample on this board the chords you want. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, fun stuff. So this board here has become my favorite thing, really just my favorite keyboard because of so many things you can use it for. Obviously, Ableton is the best way to go when it comes to using this board, but the simple fact that the user chords is in there. It's pretty sweet. So anyway, just something I thought I'd mention. You can play these chords as a sequence. You mean like on the sequencer in Ableton? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, you can build 16 chords that you can play into the DAW. So in other words, it's like having scalar right on your board, right? Of course, they have chords that map, and you can do fixed chord where you, right? And now every time you play, So if you had 4 pads lit, those could play. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying. You can. So let's do this. So. I don't have the sensitive hand feature there. But yeah. Could you hit a play button to have those play in order or random? I don't think so. Key chord detection on. I don't think so. You can, I mean, you wouldn't need to with MIDI capture. You just play them in the order that you want them. So play. Oops, that's loud as I'll get out. Let me turn this thing down. This is blaring. However you want to play it, and then hit MIDI capture, and everything you just played is already there. So here's the chords right here. I'm just gonna slide it back so you can see, or you can't see it, but so you can hear it. And then I'll loop it just so we, Command L. That was just what I played. I'm just gonna play again. So yeah, you can sit there and loop it, and I mean, you just play it, and it automatically captures what you played. So it's super easy. Versus a keyboard. Well, I mean, okay, so the sequence, you may not want to use this for the sequence part. I mean, you could. So I'll delete these. But you have chord maps. So you can set the scale you want. Here's the scale. Let's say I want, well, oh, I'm looking at the wrong knob. Let's say I want D, we'll just do C major to make this easy. C major. We'll do C minor. All right, so I set the scale, and then I have chord maps. And over here, I can arp down. I can do arpeggio where I can play that, or I could arp it here. I mean, you can't arp these. You can only arp what you play down here. And you can adjust the BPM or whatever you want to do, or the swing. Mutate it. What's up, Infinity Link? Hey, see, make it funky now. And I'm just holding some notes down. It don't even matter what I'm holding down. It's automatically finding the scale for me. So that's the scale. And that's chord maps. And you can lock the scale. If you don't know how to play, you just lock the scale to the white keys or whatever, like that, and then everything you play is in scale. Right? And you can change any scale, literally. Just like that. So put that back to where it was. And you just turn scale on or off. You can do the ARP. You can latch the ARP. So if you don't play, but you like certain notes, you just want to press it and then latch it. You can shift latch it or whatever. Or fixed chord if you just find one chord. Now every chord you play is one. Boom, turn it off. Yeah, so what's good, Infinity? Yeah, so it's I mean, that's why I use it. I like quality sound. If the sound is bad, I don't care how good it's supposedly wrote or whatever. It's got to sound good and appease the ears. So that means that you just have to find what works for you. But in the type of music you do, of course, I don't expect video game music to sound like jazz, nor do I expect jazz, hip hop to all be jazzy. Some hip hop has elements of it and elements of other stuff, right? Postwave, what's good? I've never been into ARPs, but this is fun. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see if we can sample that. So we'll go. Wait, we got to get off of that one. We'll go to this one. This one has chords on it, doesn't it? We'll have to mute this. Okay, I think it's muted now. All right, good. We'll go up here. Let me delete all this stuff. Oh, I did figure out if you hold delete and press the 4 like that and then hit delete again, it deletes them all. So you don't have to sit there. I was thinking you had to do one at a time. It was annoying. All right, so this is all free canvas. And then we'll go here. I got the mic muted for sure because that thing is nasty loud. We'll set the rate. We'll go with, we'll do 14. Set the dB up high so that way it doesn't, and the gain up. And then we will pick how many bars you want. So I'm gonna pick only 2. And then I'm gonna set it to mono. You know what, let's set that one to, will we still get 2 bars if I do stereo? Yes, we do. All right, cool. Pick the pad, sample. All right, so whatever, it's just to create a loop or whatever. It's gonna write. It's not perfectly on, but whatever. You get the idea. Now watch, we can loop. Reverse it. Send it. Yeah. You can actually run the loop this way and then back. Take the arm off. What's up, Dustin? What's up, Pulse Wave? So yeah, so you could have something looping while you have other things sequenced and still be playing through it, right? Playing something through over that. That's more of like a performance way, I guess, if you really got loops, putting your loops in here. But remember, your loops can only be based on the size of the sample. So I think like the max I've seen somebody be able to do is like 6 bars. Unless you're gonna put like the most degraded sample in there where you take it down to the lowest setting possible, and then you could get your samples pretty, pretty long. I think you might be able to get an 8-bar sample in there, maybe, if you use the lowest setting possible. But I think on 14, I think it's 6 bars or something is the max you can do. Launch key into the 6. Okay, so no, it's not that would be nice though. This is the launch key going into Ableton, and I'm using ample sound guitar. But you still get, right? So I'm using that, and I'm just playing a drum. So this is a just a drum loop that I made, right? And then a few seconds ago, I just sampled in this. Yeah, through Ableton. So I'm using the ARP on here to create this little, just to give it some textural background, something just going, kind of repeating. And then the drums, of course, that's only 4 bars of drums. Of course, you could use the what is it called, probability, to try to make it sound like it's more than what it is. If you want to do that, it's not too hard to do it. But for this, I didn't really do that. But two hats, I like to have. I'm doing this 2-hat thing just because and I don't have to vary the velocity so much. That's the other thing, you got to vary the velocity unless you're going to play it in. And the problem is this board here, you can't power it by that. So that thing is not powerful enough to power this. Now that would be a good reason to upgrade your battery if you could find one to fit this thing. They're not, the battery in there is like that big, right? So imagine if you could find one. It's a lot of space in the back of it. If you could enlarge the battery, then it might be able to power like a simple keyboard MIDI controller, and that would be nice. But unfortunately, they didn't put that in there for the price. So it is what it is. Yep, through Ableton. What's good? What's good, Blue Moon Productions? And then we got Novum. This is like 1 chord granularized. Not in here, but through Novum. Let's just sample that, or not. I don't know, just for fun. Not really worried about what it sounds like right now. Oh, hold on. All right, so we'll sample it. We'll sample at a really low sample. That way we can get at least, I don't know, 4. We'll do 4. I'm just going to create it as a loop anyway, so it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to go pick the pad, hit sample. It's on standby. This is why I say I would use a Granular plugin, like an iOS plugin for this. I wouldn't try to do the Granular in here unless you just really want to, unless you're a menu diving guy and like to do it. It's quite cumbersome. Is that the right word? All right, let's turn that down. That's a bit much. But anyway, you see what you can do. And again, delete. You can press 2 at a time now, or you can press all 6 in a bank. I wish you would just go delete bank, but I tried that and for some reason it didn't work. So I thought you could, but apparently you can't. But it's pretty easy to select all the pads and do. It's not that big of a deal. If you get into this guy, you know what you're getting into in the first place. It might be a MA limit from the P6. And Arturia's mini fuse 1 interface will only deliver 250 MA from its USB hub. I am looking for a smaller iPad interface at the moment. Smaller. Okay, so I use the Air. I guess I could show you mine. It doesn't. So you see, this is the Air. I'm just using it to watch your chat, so I can not look at the phone that's recording the video. There you go. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So this thing can act as an interface for you. The only problem is you got to have headphones, right? So you need to have some type of headphones you can plug in. Yes, you can run MIDI through it, but it has MIDI on the back. But the problem again is you got to have a controller that is powered to be able to do it. Now, I imagine if you guys know what the CME X Key Air is, that one that does Bluetooth, but also can be plugged in. I believe if I'm not mistaken, that board, because it has a battery power in it, if you get the one with the battery in it, you can plug it in, and it probably would work because it doesn't require any power plugged in. It can run off its own battery. But anything battery operated should be fine if you're trying to get something to go with this P6. You just need something that has batteries already. It doesn't need to do. The other option, I think I showed it on today on one of my. Oh no, I was showing you all the IDAM thing. Anyway, the other option is if you get the iPad, just use your iPad. There's Sequence keys on there. Is the best one I found that I actually think works really good. Sequence keys is not too expensive, and you can play your notes in. I did it. Go watch my video, the one I did recently about the IDAM, where I show you how using the iPad to control Ableton and different stuff like that, or whatever, to record in using Koala directly into Ableton. I'm kind of showcasing that function on there, and that particular plugin I use would work just fine on the iPad. You could have the iPad and just do all your recording that way, but if you're trying to do Ableton, then it ain't gonna work, right? So you'd have to use one or the other. You would use this as, I guess you could route it differently. Anyway, you could get real deep on that. Let me read some more comments. What's good, Blue Moon Productions? Or the P6 just can't send power out. There is a setting in here to turn the P6 where it doesn't pull power from something else. But if you plug something into it, I think it tries to it tries to pull power from that device that you plug in. That's why it can't. I don't think it puts power out. I think you're right. I don't think it can send power out. I think it only takes power in. Um, that's what I know for a fact that it doesn't do. It doesn't send power out. Um, I learned that quick, but doesn't mean it's not good. I mean, it's just one of those things where you just can't use it for that purpose, you know. So I tried on my own time. I don't think I tried it on to use something like this, but this doesn't have the ability to power, right? These are just to out to, well, you can send something into it. It's just in and out, right? Audio. As soon as you try to plug a MIDI controller into this, it doesn't recognize it. But this works great for other stuff. That's a whole different story. So yeah, hold exit when turning on the. So on MIDI with it, you can only use, I think it's 6 notes. It's either 6 or 8 notes. I can't remember. It has a polyphony, I think, of 8 notes. But it gets weird. Like if you try to do bit chords on it, it gets real weird. And I honestly think it's okay for bass lines. But I would never. I mean, you can just hit shift gate, and it'll do the poly, and you can play the notes right on this little keyboard. You pretty much got. Let's see. You pretty much got an octave here, right? And then you got 4 more notes. So it's 1 octave basically. But I would, if it had 2 octaves, I'd be like, oh, it'd be amazing. But that would mean that it would also be bigger than it is right now. So it is what it is. Yeah, it won't send power out. And you know what? It's not meant for all that anyway. It's more for it's a really simple sampler, is what it's meant to be. It's basically if you want a sequencer, sampler with granular and some cool effects. The effects are the best part. And then yeah, you could use it for that. And just use it with your phone. Use it with Koala. Just use the keyboard in Koala, or on the phone, or use the iPad keyboard. Save yourself the headache. Unless you just want to go find a tactile keyboard with many keys that you can put batteries in. I think Chord makes one that you can put batteries in, or any keyboard that's battery powered. Obviously, you could use it with it. Exit when turning on the. Yeah, that's to turn the power, the battery. I think that's what it is. Yeah, to turn the battery off, or not off, but where it won't charge by whatever device you plug in. I don't. It still won't charge anything. So like, even if let's just go here. You gotta make sure you save everything here. It'll be gone. So even if I turn it off, hold exit, power it on. Okay, it's not gonna charge. It's not pulling the charge from the computer, but all right. So because you see no light on, but if I plug in this. Yeah, you see there's no MIDI because you see the MIDI lights are off on this thing. It won't power it. So unless you have a way to power the board that you're putting in, it's not going to really... Oh, let me fix this right now because I don't want it to not power. Hopefully that fixed it back. I gotta remember. I don't remember how to fix it back. Is it gonna charge? I'll have to go look that up now. Now that I did that, because now it's not charging. Yeah. However, it gets weird trying to use MIDI. It does. I have to unplug and. Fixes the USB buzz if you can do that. Is that what that is? The USB, the buzz if you turn the power off? Is that what you're talking about? Anyway, I got to figure out how to fix that now that I did that. Turn the power back on where it's charging because it's not doing it right now. But yeah, so that is probably going to be it. I am kind of hungry and I have not ate lunch or dinner or anything. So the power causes interference. Turning the power draw off helps there. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'll definitely do that. But the question is, Ali Star, is it charging though? Because it doesn't look like it's charging. And now I don't know how to turn that back on. I mean, you hold exit and turn it on, and then it takes that away. But then, how do you turn it back on when you need to charge? Try just off and on without the button combo. What you mean without the button combo? Oops, didn't mean to do that. You have okay. So if you just turn, oh, I see. If you turn off, now it's charging, right? Turn it on. Is it still charging? That's what you meant. Just turn on the button, turn it on. I think you're right. I think it's charging now. Okay, thank you. I don't know. I guess I did. One shot turn off. He said not a P6 owner. Dustin, do you have any of the Aura Compact series devices? Because I think they all work similar with that stuff, if I'm not mistaken. One shot turn off turn. That's the standard across all Aura devices. Oh, okay. That's the standard. Interesting. Well, you guys have taught me some things. Hopefully, I've shared something that you could benefit from too. You have the other four. Okay, nice. I wanted the S1 because I was looking for something to make. I like ambient stuff, and I wanted to be able to make those cool lush pads and things of that nature. But then I was watching a guy that I've been watching for a while on YouTube. His name's Johan. I forgot Johan's last name. But anyway, he got the Ableton Move, and I was not into it until I saw him use it. And he was creating with the wave. I think it's the wave table that's on there. He was creating some lush ambient music, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that sounds so good." So then my mind started going towards maybe I should get that, but at $500, it's gonna have to wait. I don't see it right now. No, you want the S1 and the P6. Yeah, I could live without the T8, but the P6 I love, and the S1 seems like it'd be fun. I know it's a lot of menu diving I heard on that one too, but after messing with this thing, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. You can figure it out. Can't be worse than the Granular on this thing. You would like the J6 and the S1. So the J6 is chords. I don't really want that because I would rather use my phone for chords. And I think it has some Juno sounds, if I'm not mistaken, or I believe. That's what I heard. But I know a lot of people that like it. I probably wouldn't do it. I would just use my computer or something like that for that. But the S1 for sure. At least for me, I wouldn't. But I saw the J6 in the store, and I've heard people get it. A lot of people I've heard got it don't even use it anymore. They just kind of got one. The T8 was very cool, except the lock-in sounds are not for me. Yeah, see, I don't want, like, a lot of times, if you can't shape the sound or do anything different with the sound, I'll get bored with it. I kind of was looking at the Chord. I know a lot of people say it's hard to use, but it has a randomized button. It's the Chord Voca FM 2. They have the second one, but I know it's limited on sounds. I think you can only have like, I think they changed it from, it was like 4 sounds to like 6 or 8. But the way it sounds with the the sound that comes out of it, the people do with the ambient stuff sounds really good. But I think that's the same thing as having a wavetable almost. Or I may be wrong on that, but I think I could just get like probably get the move at that point and be all right. So, but I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do with the move, if they're gonna do some updates. Let's see. I love menus. Oh man, no, that's funny. I love menus. Where is the TE Christmas toy is what I want to know. Do you like TE Ali Star? Or are you joking? I'm assuming you're joking, but I've never seen you use a TE ever. TE thing, so I don't know. It's all the variations built in with the J6 and on the J6. Interesting. I look. Oh, you say you rock the J6 hard. Okay. I think if you don't know any music theory, I think that might be cool. But with this keyboard now, and scalar and tonality and all these other devices I have, and I already kind of know some of that stuff too, I don't really gravitate towards buying gear that does it. I'd rather just use what I got on chords. Most of the time I use the scalar chords when I'm uninspired or don't really know, or maybe I just don't feel like playing it. I just want to hurry up and put down something quick. Then I'll use some scalar chords. But I never use them the way people typically use them. I'm all over the place, changing them up, trying to figure out a way to make them sound different. But yeah. Um, Not really. Just wondering what they are doing for the season. Okay. They're doing collector items. The Roland R Compact Series. You just gotta have it. Yeah, the compact. I like them. They're very portable, and I like the form factor of the Aura stuff is nice. It doesn't bother me that it's in plastic, even though people get caught up in, oh, it's in plastic. I'm like, yeah, but it's only $200. Where are you gonna find something for $200 that does all this? I mean, you can't even get an iPad these days for $200. So I don't have a problem with that. That it's in plastic, and it seems like people that have them for a while, so they don't have any issues that I heard of. Um, was expecting a new KO2. Hmm. You know what? They just need to update the KO2 they got. They need to have resampling on a sampler, and I think, yeah, I think that's kind of a need. And I'll be honest, I love the PO33, the sound of the PO33, that 8-bit sound that it had. I love that. But everybody don't want 8-bit and lo-fi, so the KO has a nice cleaner sound, I think. The compressor in that thing is nice. Yeah, I need to go eat. OPZ Field and T from TE will be a hit. Now that, yeah, if they come out with the OPZ Field, I'm all in. I have the OP1 Field, and I like it a lot. Yeah, I had the OP1 Field. I enjoyed it when I had it. I couldn't justify the cost of it, but because you can have a few things, but if you love it, you love it. For me, I needed 8 tracks. The way I like to work with stuff, I wanted 8 tracks, and I thought they should have had some type of MIDI implementation in there, like MIDI CCs. They haven't done that. And also, I wanted them to just put the sequencers that they have, like in the OPZ, in the OP1 Field, so that you'd have a better sequencer in there. The sequencers in there are old, and they've been that same sequencers since the first one. So it's over 10 years now. I think they would fix that, but it is what it is. That's TE for you. Look, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I am gonna take Crazy Rabbit's advice and go eat, cause yeah, I don't want to pass out on the stream. That'd be weird. So, yep. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until the next stream, I'm out.